Before Judo, there were many Ruha that focused on Jiu-Jitsu, the oldest being Hinoshita Torite Kaizen Takanouchi Ryu, or just Takanouchi Ryu for short, founded in 1532 by Takanouchi Hizumori. Other notable schools with a more direct influence on Judo are Kito-ryu and Tenshin Shinno-ryu. Kano's first instructor was Yagi Tenosuke, who later referred Kano to Fukuda Hachinosuke, also a Tenshin Shinno-ryu master. Tenshin Shinno-ryu is actually a combination of Yoshinryu and Shinno Shindo-ryu. In 1879, Kano took part in a demonstration in front of U.S. President Ulysses S. Grant, alongside Fukuda and Iso Masatomo. Fukuda died soon after the demonstration, and Fukuda's widow wanted Kano to take over as head instructor of the school. She gave him all the scrolls, and he began teaching the few students that Hachinosuke had. It wasn't long before he decided he needed more training. So, Kano began studying with Iso Masatomo, who is known for his kata and striking. Okay, let's stop for a second because I'm sure this may surprise some of you due to the fact that there was no striking in Kodokan Judo, but yet Kano trained with the striking specialist. To be clear, if you look at old Kodokan textbooks, you'll see that in fact there was originally striking. But as Judo evolved into a sport and rules began to be established, striking was eventually removed. Okay, let's get back to this story. Because of Kano's background in Jiu-Jitsu, he became an assistant instructor at Iso's dojo. Iso Masatomo died in 1881. Later, Kano was introduced to Kito-ryu master Ikobo Tsunetoshi, so Kano began training in Kito-ryu. Masatomo was an expert in kata and throwing. Kano believed that these throwing techniques were better than anything he had previously learned. And in October of 1883, Ikobo issued Kano a menkyo, or a teaching license, in Kito-ryu. After 5 years of training, Kano establishes the Kodokan in Tokyo in 1982 with just 12 mats. He preferred to use the term Judo over Jiu-Jitsu, though it's a misconception that he founded the term Judo, as this was actually used generations before in Kito-ryu. While the Meiji government was promoting modernization and Western education, Kano, being an educator, helped integrate Judo into the schools. The Kodokan began to prove itself in public contests, especially in the famous 1886 Tokyo Metropolitan Police Tournament, where the Kodokan Judoka decisively defeated traditional Jiu-Jitsu experts. While working as an educator, Kano noticed that the upper-class swimmers wore a black ribbon. This gave him an idea that would revolutionize modern martial arts. He created the belt system, which would eventually be adapted in almost every martial art in the world. It was Kano's dream for Kodokan Judo to be practiced worldwide, so he began sending instructors abroad. During the war, martial arts were militarized. After Japan's defeat in 1945, the Allied occupation temporarily banned martial arts, but Judo was able to survive as a sport and an educational practice. Kano began working with the International Olympic Committee in 1909, and by 1940, Judo was scheduled to make its first appearance in the Olympics, but it was canceled that year due to the war. Kano wouldn't live to see this dream fulfilled, as he passed away from pneumonia in May of 1938 while at sea. In 1951, the International Judo Federation was formed, and in 1964, Judo finally made its first appearance in the Olympics. Though Japan dominated, Dutch judoka Anton Geesink made history by defeating Japanese champions and showing how far Judo had come around the world. Though Judo was excluded from the 1968 Games in Mexico, it would become a permanent sport in the 1972 Munich Olympics. As an interesting side note, it was Anton Geesink's idea to use blue and white uniforms to distinguish the athletes. Today, Judo is practiced in over 200 countries with millions of practitioners. These are resources and recommended reading for anyone who wants to learn more about the art and the history of Kodokan Judo and Jigoro Kano.